Chefs, welcome, one and all to another episode of the Chef Fit Show. And on today's episode, we've none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Clint Mint McKenzie. What I want to do here, chefs, is really just establish why you're here. Like the reason that I bring the chefs on who are in the elite group and we talk about what's changed in their lives and the success they've had. The reason I do that is because a lot of you think it's not possible. Like a lot of you think that because you're so deep in a rut and things are not going the way you want them to go and your life is in the shit, that all of a sudden it seems impossible to achieve what these guys have achieved. When me and Clint both know, and everyone in that elite group knows, that it is possible to make that change. No matter what hours you're working, whether you're a chef or not, it's on the table for you. So today what we're going to do is we're going to dive into Clint's story, because he has completely transformed himself physically and mentally. And it's probably been for me as a coach, it's been one of the most incredible to see transformations, more from a mental standpoint, but even physically, it's been incredible as well. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to start off by diving in. Like, Clint, I just want to know, man, like give us an idea of what life was like for you before Chef Fit. Like what was your life like before you joined up, and what was your reasoning for joining up?
Basically it was hell for me, really. I was when I look back at it more now, I think I was just like really deeply depressed. And I felt like everything I did, I just hated waking up. I hated going to work. Even on my days off, all I wanted to do, I just wanted to sit on the couch, drink vodka all day, get pissed. I didn't care about anyone. Like, my family would text me and things, and it was just like short replies and and I never went out. I was suffered from like massive anxiety attacks, especially social anxiety. Like if I went to the supermarket with a wife or something, sometimes I'd literally want to just get out of there. I'd just be like, literally wouldn't go anywhere with her, wouldn't do anything with her, because she was like running around after me basically. Like doing everything for me, because I was just being lazy and like depressed and anxious about everything all the time. And then that's when I thought, I need to do something about this, because I can't keep going on like this basically. And that's when I seen your post and things, I just decided, I'm going to give this a go.
When did that start for you, Clint? Like when did you start noticing that was your mental state? Was that a couple of years that was the case, or not just like
I've had anxiety, I would say, since I was about, I would say it would be about 20, like early 20s, I think it started for me.
Right.
It just gradually got worse and worse and worse. And it just got to the point where I was like just drinking way too much, especially over Christmas. I realized after Christmas, because I was posting random things on social media, I was getting pissed up and like posting things, making myself look like a right idiot. Just stupid things like that. And I wasn't being very nice to like some of my family members and things like that. And I thought to myself, it needs to stop now.
Yeah, big time. And I'm sure it's an intro. I can remember our first phone conversation, and I'm sure for you at that stage, things must have been pretty bad for you to physically jump on a phone conversation with someone you didn't know, because I'm sure that was a very daunting thing for you to jump on the phone with me. Like, how bad was it December and January that it was like, fuck, I've got to do this, and regardless of how, the story, the voice in your head and all of that shit, like what was the month before talking to me on the phone like?
Oh, it was terrible. Like I say, obviously December's a busy for all chefs, but I've just gone totally overboard, and I was just hurling abuse to people on social media, like I say, and things like that. And even I was taking my anger out on everybody else, kind of thing. And like I say, I was just drinking. I was probably drinking between half a bottle, 3/4 of a bottle of vodka a night, kind of thing. And that was like when I was at work the next day, and then on my days off, I could be drinking up to a bottle of it, and I'm just literally sitting on the couch and just doing nothing really.
Yeah. And that's
just,
now life to be living.
No, it's not. I realise all that
now. Yeah, no.
Like now I feel like I want to get up. I want to get out of bed. I want to go. Like we've got our holiday next week. Yeah. I would have been really anxious about just going on holiday. Yeah. I'd be worried about just going on holiday. But now I'm like really looking forward to it. Do you know what I mean? I really am looking forward to going.
That's incredible.
I'm going to enjoy it.
So that's what we're going to dive into now. So like if we think about where you were at, and for any chefs out there, this is so common. It's like a serious state of depression, life, waking up every day and barely not wanting to get out of bed. Do you know what I mean? And you're literally working just to survive. There's no other, it's not as if you're gaining any satisfaction from it. You know, you're looking to escape outside of the work with booze, and eventually you don't even notice it, but like you're starting to become a dark version of yourself. And that's where it's like waking up the next day, looking on social media and going, was that me? What the fuck? You know? Yeah. And having no life outside of that. Do you know what I mean? The anxiety is another thing that creeps in as a result of the lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? When you're not taking care of yourself and you're in this dark place, the anxiety is there, and you'll have massive amounts of resistance when it comes to actually doing anything, you know, and whether that's small things like being out with family or whatever. So for you, Clint, you were on the brink and it was like, had to make the change. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we take this forward, then like that was you before you started. That was you talking to me in January and getting the ball rolling. So now what we need to dive into is, first off, like, what was the result here? Like there's three things that I want to touch on, because obviously we started down here and now we're up here, and it's been a very, very, very long road for you to get to that point. So from a mental standpoint in you, Clint, like what's changed for you mentally since starting, when you started compared to?
I'm a lot more confident now. Like going out, I don't get the panic attacks when I go out. Sometimes I do still feel a little anxious every now and then, but I know how to kind of deal with it, and I kind of calm myself down a bit. But I'm nowhere near as bad as I was. Like I can go anywhere now, and it just doesn't bother me really.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm more open, I would say, as well to people like say my wife or my family. I'll speak to them more a bit now about anything that I'm worried about or whatever, which helps. But definitely the meditation is a definite for me. I have to do that every day in the morning. I usually have at least between 20 minutes and up to about an hour sometimes. I'll have or maybe on my day off or something. I just find that it kind of really like calms me down for the rest of the day. I feel like I've had some like me time kind of thing.
Totally. Yeah. Big time. But that's literally it. It's that sitting down for the 20 to 60 minutes. And it's like, all you're doing is focusing on breathing and just getting out of your own mind. You know what I mean? You're getting out of your own head and stop turning off that dialogue for a short period of time. And you wake up out of that. It's like, oh, fuck. There's a bit of clarity here. Do you know what I mean? I'm not overthinking everything. I'm not stuck in that rut again. And that's absolutely massive, man. And I think like this, like the fact that we're even having this chat, the fact that we're even talking here is case in point. You know, like I don't think you would have been able to do this, get onto this call and talk to me 6 months ago.
No, definitely not. No, I wouldn't have done it.
You know, it would have been a fucking freak out. So you think about the confidence, the social anxiety is in check. You're communicating more, you know, generally you're a more open person, you know, you're not closing things off. What else has changed? Like you were saying to me there, that life was feeling like a chore before Chef Fit, and every day was just a fucking drag and it was a struggle. What does it feel like now?
I feel like I can deal with it all like a lot easier now.
Yeah.
I don't let it get on top of me either, really. Like I plan I plan like quite a lot of things in advance now. Like I know what's coming. Like if I know like I've got a busy week at work, like we've got something going on, I would used to worry about it now, but now I kind of don't get that. I kind of
take it
more want to just get in there and get it done, kind of thing.
Massive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't worry about it. I'm kind of confident about doing it. I'm just more like, I'm just going to get it done. It's no point in moaning about it, is there really?
Big time, Paul. Big time. What effect has this had at home for you, do you feel? Like what's changed in your relationship? Obviously more communication and all of that.
Obviously we've got the IVF as well. That's coming up soon, and that was a big thing because my wife had to get a bit of weight down as well, and so did I to be able to get the IVF. And we did that. I think it was in the first about a month and a half, I think, something like that.
I remember.
So yeah.
Amazing.
So that was another good thing. That was brilliant.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it's like, just from your own mental standpoint, like that's nearly enough in itself. If we look at it from a physical standpoint, like in terms of exercise and going to the gym and stuff, like that was obviously all very new to you, Clint, was it?
Yeah, very new. I don't think I've ever been to the gym before. No, never.
Big time. So when we think about what's changed in you physically, like obviously you've gotten a lot leaner since starting. So like, what was your starting point in terms of like how you looked and what the weight was and all of that, and where are we at today?
I think I was 84 when I came in. I was 66.
Mad.
I point something now, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Right. So that's 18 kilos.
Yeah.
18 kilos. So folks, that's 18 kilos in the 6 months. And what does that 66 kilos look like to you? You know what I mean? Like I saw even the picture I just posted in this group before we jumped on the call was like that post that you put up about being able to put on a t-shirt, it was a medium t-shirt, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I used to have I had a load of t-shirts as well in my mum's loft, and that I'd put away because I thought, they're just there, and I've been back to get them because like now it hardly fits me now. I have to like get a new wardrobe. But yeah, it was like more like any t-shirt I put on, it was just a big beer belly, and I used to hate it and feel really bad in myself, and I thought I can't wear that. And I used to just always wear big baggy clothes, and and yeah, I've got like a new wardrobe now. Really, I've got a lot of these. The wife's always like, "Oh, I've got you this and I've got you that." So yeah,
that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible, man. And like with that in mind, like obviously that ties in with the confidence, and it's like, Jesus, these are things that I did not think I would be able to do. You think about being able to fit into that medium t-shirt and dropping the 18 kilos. Like in terms of your fitness and stuff like that, what are you able to do now, and what are you doing now that maybe 6-7 months ago seemed like ridiculous to be doing? I was like, that's not me. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Like what are you doing?
I mean, the running, I'm like all right at the running, because I didn't think I'd be able to get too far, because I've got asthma.
Yeah.
And I did struggle a little bit at first with that because I was really, really out of breath. But, the further I got, the better that is. Some days I struggle a little bit still with my asthma on that, but I'm still quite shocked that I can do a 5K kind of thing. I'm still shocked that I could do that. That's definitely one thing.
That's absolutely massive. Like running 5K, again, you just have to, it's probably difficult for you to remember, Clint, but it's like you just have to go back and just think about who that guy was back then. And it's like the thought of a 5K, fucking getting up and down your stairs a couple of times was probably a chore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that you're able to run 5K consistently is absolutely gigantic. What else is happening?
Everything just lifting and things like that, even at work, even putting anything away or anything that's heavy, or it just all seems like I'm just running around everywhere. Like at work, I'm running up and down the stairs, and I just seem a lot just better and happier. Even when I'm at work, I'm happier, and
big time.
I just feel fitter and feel more. I just feel a lot better in myself.
Yeah.
And like say, even like when you look better, people even comment to me and they say, "Oh, you're looking good," and that. So that always
100%.
boosts your confidence as well.
100%, Clint. Like, this is for anyone watching this, like, you need to really take note of this stuff. Like, this isn't just, yeah, no, I tried it for a couple of weeks and we'll see what happens. Like, Clint really committed. Like, he really committed and he was in this to fucking win it. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, you're a very humble guy, Clint, but like, you fucking worked your arse off for this, and there was hard times that you were able to push through. And I think at the end result, and you recap all of this, like from a physical standpoint, down 18 kilos, fitting into t-shirts you never thought you'd be able to fit into again. Like, you're running 5K consistently, you're in the gym lifting, you're more energetic, you're happier than you've been in a very, very, probably happier than you've ever been, to be honest.
I definitely think the thing where you like move every day is definitely, even if I've struggled not to do something, or I've because like I say, the gym where I at was shut. Like, there's no gyms that are like open after like 9. So if I had missed something, I would do something at home, even if it was anything. Just even if it was like some press ups, or like just lifting a few weights, or like I have got a couple of things at home which some people might not be able to, but I do recommend just doing something or anything, just to like keep going. You know what I mean? If you do miss something, or it's like with the eating, if you do eat something, like have a takeaway, you make sure that your next day's meals are like not as high and things like that. I would recommend.
So like, we think about that then. It's like the things that worked for you, because obviously your result was incredible. So it's like, how did we make that happen? Like the chef hip path and how we do things. So what Clint said there, he said, move every day. Why do you feel move every day? Like, why did that work for you? Like, what was it about that was like, Jesus, yeah, that makes sense to me. That works, as opposed to just go to the gym, see what happens.
That kind of I don't know if I felt like I felt guilty sometimes if I felt like I needed to do more, kind of thing, sometimes. Yeah. So sometimes that got me moving, kind of thing. The thought of that, oh my God, I need to do something else because I've not done enough today. So that would kind of push me to go out on, like, do a run, or like I would do something, if anything.
And why did you feel guilty? Like, what was the thing when you were thinking about, okay, right, I know what I need to do on a daily basis, but sometimes I feel like I could do more. What was the thing that was making you, like, what did you feel when it was like, shit, I'm not doing enough here? Like, is it the lads around you? Is it the environment? Is it like, what was the thing that was making you say that?
I don't know. I had my own like targets where sometimes if I felt like, say I felt like I'd been a little bit lazier that day, it'd like push me. Just the thought of the like moving every day thing, I think I need to go and do something, and I'll just jump up and go and do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Removing that excuse, like, it's just do something. And what's when you think about doing something, like, how did you feel after doing exercise?
Yeah, you feel a lot better after it.
Exactly.
You feel like you've achieved something.
Mm-hmm.
And after you've done it, you kind of like, oh, I'm glad I've done that now. And that's like, yeah.
So we think about that then as a concept, guys. It's like feeling good and satisfied on a daily basis because you're moving every day. Is it the fact that you have to train for 3 hours? Fuck no. Is it have to be massively complicated? God, no. But doing something that changes your perspective. Like for Clint, it was like anxiety, being in a state of depression, generally just feeling lethargic, and that life was a chore. And it's like, when you get in the habit of doing something every day that takes you from being in that anxious space to, oh shit, I actually feel really good and satisfied. Now see how your day goes. And I'm sure for you, Clint, it was like, yeah, no, you finish your day feeling like you've done what you're supposed to do, as opposed to, oh God, like, here, oh fuck, I have to do it. It's like, no, you get it out of the way, you get it done, and you're getting it. You're getting this sense of satisfaction on a daily basis. That's the idea behind move every day. That's why it's so important for chefs, especially if you're in a bad spot. And then it's like,
I'd recommend as well, if like people, that do suffer with like mine was like social anxiety and being out and around people, is to actually just go out more and more around people. So eventually you get like, you kind of get used to it. It helps you just get out of that kind of, you know what I mean? Like, even if it, like for me, I used to hate going shopping, and now I could just like, well, I'm fine. Anything like that now. But I just like, you know, just do like what you're scared of. You need to just do it. Kind of thing. Yeah.
Because it's like, what lies on the other side of that fear is like that fear and anxiety that you have when you go to do something. That's usually a feeling that it's like, no, that means you should do it, because if you do it, you're going to feel so much better about yourself.
Yeah.
So for you, mate, it's like in that environment. So obviously Chef Fit, like, there was a tribe, it's the accountability. Like, I had tasked you a couple of times with doing live videos, and you fucking doing live.
I'm nightmare with them.
Yeah, like hated doing live videos, and I would tell you to go and do them, because that's the thing that you needed to do to overcome this social anxiety in yourself. So like that keeps you accountable. Now, when we have this simple food structure, when we move every day and we have an environment where you're surrounded by chefs who are just like you and you're held accountable by those chefs, then something starts to happen. And it's like you start to shift your identity. Like, do you feel like the same person that you started as?
No, definitely not. Feel a lot, like I say, a lot more confident. I just felt a lot happier. I'm actually like enjoying life, really.
Yeah.
Whereas I used to just, like I say, I didn't even want to get out of bed. I just felt like it was, I don't know, it was just, it was horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you now see yourself as a confident, energetic, happy person. And when you have this shift, it's like you believe in yourself now, which is potentially something that you didn't have before. And for a lot of people, this is what you need to go through. You need to have the structure so you build the habits. You need to have the environment so you stay accountable. Over time, when you get the result, then you start to believe yourself to be someone else, this more happy version of yourself. Whereas before, it was like negative, 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 negative. So it's like, this is how we got there, guys. This was the thing. It's like, start off with the path, your simple food structure, move every day, bring that together with your environment, and then eventually you get to this point. Now I'm going to ask you this. Why did Chef Fit work for you? Like, what was it about Chef Fit that worked compared to maybe something else that you might try?
I did like the accountability bit of it, because I mean, you have the lads in the group and that, and they're always like, keep you on your toes, and just seeing all them lot do their bit makes you want to kind of do yours.
Exactly. Everyone making the push. And making the push together. And when you see guys, like, obviously, you know, you weren't the only person coming in there with anxiety or coming in there in a dark place mentally. Like, what was it like for you to see other chefs who were going through the same shit that you were going through, and they were trying to achieve the same thing that you were trying to achieve? Like, what difference does that make with you?
You kind of then feel like, you know, you're not on your own. Because sometimes, you know, you just feel like when you're in that dark place, you feel like no one's going to help you. You're the only one that's getting all, you know what I mean? When you're not really, there is other people going through things that, like we were going through when we go at the start of Chef Fit.
Yeah.
And like there's no judgment in there. Everyone's like nice to each other and just try and push each other through.
Yeah. I think that's another thing that's quite rare with chefs. I've looked on fucking chef groups on Facebook, and it's like there's just insane amounts of negativity. Do you know what I mean? It really is. And it's a lot of the time it's highly toxic. And when you've got this place where you realize that you're not on your own in the struggles that you're having, and there's no judgment for what you're doing, you know what I mean? And you can be vulnerable and you can share how you're fucking feeling. It gives you that outlet. It gives you that thing that it's like, oh no, I actually feel like I'm part of something, because I am part of something. And not only a part of something, but you're part of something that actually keeps you in a good place. You know what I mean? And when there's no judgment, that's a huge part of it. And over time, it builds this community. Like, I think a big part of the life of a chef is isolation, feeling like you're stuck in your own lane. And I think the big thing and what you've seen over the past 6 months, Clint, is that when you're surrounded by people who are making the same push as you, it brings you all together. And when it brings you together, not only are you more likely to do the work, but you're enjoying the process of doing it. And that is absolutely key. And that's what keeps you pushing for a long period of time.
It's also helped me, like, you know, like toxic people at work, or say there's people that are always moaning about anything or out like that, whereas they, like, that would get on top of me usually, and then that'd make me kind of be like them. I can kind of just blank them out now. You know, it's like if I see someone moaning about something, it just goes straight over my head now.
Big time.
I don't let anything like that even get to me now. I just kind of just look down on them now. I don't look down on them, but I just think you just get on with that. You get on with that, and I'll just you know.
But the other thing, when you're working, like especially when you're working in the kitchen, you don't really have any contact with people outside of that. You assume that every chef is like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then stepping into the group and you see chefs who are doing the work and they're changing their lives. You're like, nah, actually being that negative and being that toxic is a load of bollocks. You know what I mean? And they're making a decision to do that, and it's their problem. And you can make the decision whether that brings you down or it doesn't bring you down. And I think when you had this community, it's like, yeah, cool. Even being able to post up and go, do you know what, this is what's happening in work. Usually you'll get an opinion of one of the lads going, yeah, no, listen, I've been through the same thing. Or they've got advice for you to push through something, you know, and it just keeps you on the straight and narrow. So no, I totally get where you're coming from there. So we've described what your life was like. We described the result that you got, and we described how we did it and why Chef It worked for you. I suppose my question for you, Clint, is, was it worth it? Was it worth the money, the time, the effort that you had to put in? You know what I mean? The commitment that you made, was it worth it?
Yeah, it was worth every penny. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. You know, it's all the time I put in. I mean, I'm not too bad because I do some like 12-hour shifts every now and then, but mostly it's like 9, 10. So I'm not like one of the like really thingy. So I did have a bit of time here and there, but yeah, it worth all the time. I mean, it's only time that I would have just been sat drinking anyway. So I just replaced that with doing something good, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I definitely, it was definitely worth it for me.
Do the work, reap the rewards. That simple. So Clint, like, in taking this whole thing into the harbor, right? For any chefs that were in your position, guys who are in a dark spot, anxiety is there, they've no balance in their life, they've no structure, they've no time, they've no energy, and they just feel like it's too difficult. They feel like it's not possible for them to make the change that you've made, you know? And maybe they look at Chef It and it's like, fuck it, I can't. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do that. That couldn't be me, because they have this excuse of this story. It's like, what would your advice to those chefs be? Because they know they need to change.
I would just take the step and go into Chef It, because I know I was nervous as well when I was on the phone to you. I've got to admit, and I had the same thoughts in my head. I'm there thinking, is this going to work? Am I going to be able to do it? Am I going to make myself look like an idiot or whatever? But no, I just said yeah, and as soon as I got in, I could tell. As soon as I got in the group, everyone was like really supportive, and you know, they just make you feel like welcome and everything. And like I said, I didn't know anything. I didn't even go to the gym. I played a bit of football when I was younger, but that was about it. I'd not done anything like this before. And you know, everyone's there to help you. They have the WhatsApp group, so if you're ever stuck or you need help with anything, you can just ask in there. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, there's no judgment. Everyone just gets along, and yeah, it's brilliant.
So the prognosis is, if you're thinking about it and you've had these same feelings and these same nerves that you had starting out, it's like you fucking need to do it. Like,
yeah, definitely,
100%. Go for it.
Yeah.
So like chefs, this is just another example of what Chef Fit Elite is about. You know what I mean? It's about getting guys to not only change themselves and get fitter and all of that stuff, but it's about you changing who you are. It's about you overcoming all the stories that you've had your entire life as a chef, overcoming the hours, the time, the energy, all of that stuff, overcoming the excuses. And really over the course of doing the work and sticking with it and not giving up, you pass the point of no return. It's this whole concept of like, you're standing on the edge of a cliff and it's like, you're looking down. A lot of you will get to this point, but you'll never jump off the cliff. And that's why you'll stop starting. Whereas Clint was able to commit for a long enough period of time, not give up, and boom, now he's past that point of no return. And chances of him going back to square one are very, very, very small. Do you know what I mean? Very, very small. And that's the identity. That's the idea of what we do. It's not just about fitness. It's about getting you to the point where you can sustain this for the rest of your life because you know what it's like to feel happy. You know what it's like to have energy. You know what it's like to feel confident in yourself again. And therefore, you know what it takes to make that happen. So with that in mind, chefs, what I am going to do is I'll post if anyone is looking to apply who's watching this to join the Chef Fit Elite, I'll post a link in the comments where you can apply and book in a free coaching call with myself. And you can join guys like Clint. But other than that, Clint, that's awesome, man. I really, really appreciate this. A really, really important message for a lot of the chefs out there who are in that position that you were in. So fair play to you, man, for everything that you've done. You've absolutely smashed it. And that's the inspiration. That's the message. So with that in mind, thank you so much, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
My man. Okay, chefs, any questions? Don't be afraid to post them in the comments. I'll post that link for you now, and I'll catch you all in the funny papers. Be good, be safe. Clint, have a good day, bro. See you later.
See you later.